Welcome back to the shop here at Basin Motorsports. I'm Canaan. Today I'm going to show you how to make a e-brake shift boot for a 5th generation or a C5 Corvette. All right, so before we get too far into it, let's go ahead and take an assessment of what we're going to do. So the shift boot itself is multiple pieces. Now it has 2 pieces of leather. This was a blue leather boot that I'm taking out and I'm going to use as patterns. So I've already taken out the wire frame that goes into the bottom of it. I've also taken off the Velcro that's along the side. Now the Velcro attaches to the carpet piece. The wire gives this structure so that it goes in there and has structure to the mounting plate, or the mounting to the body, I should say. Now the other 2 pieces, you can go ahead and take out everything else. Now this is going to be extended out, and it also has some top stitching here in the pieces of leather. So I'm going to go ahead now and split this along the seam there on both sides. That way I have 2 pieces of leather separately that I can work on to make a boot. All right, now that I have my pieces cut apart and I have my outlines of the patterns. So really on this bottom edge here, there's no change to it. Now I've added in, because these are flipped over and sewn, they have about a 1/2 inch extra material there for sewing allowance. So on each side of there where I still have the stitching that I didn't take apart, it added an extra inch or an extra inch on the edge. And one thing I didn't like about the way it was is there was this kind of this cover that was partly glued on, it was sewed on, it was really tight to the skin of the e-brake. And I always thought these 2 colors you can see in the video, they do not match. Maybe they did at one point now, but because they're different leather, they don't match. So I'm going to go ahead and eliminate this piece, and I'm going to extend this out. So this shift boot is going to come up, and when it's together, I've extended it up another 5 inches. I'm going to fold this edge over and sew it back on each point. That way I have a clean edge across, and then it's going to be an extra 4 inches long by the end when I get it to the top. Now it should stretch tightly over the e-brake handle where you grip it with your hand, and where your thumb clicks the little button should be roughly about up in here in the edge. Now I can adjust that, the fold over, I can adjust that down, and I can always pull it down a little bit. The goal is to get the edge where it's sewn to be the very edge of the handle, so when I click the button there's really no black sticking out, you can just see a button. Now if we're going to go ahead and cut this out, and then I'll start sewing it together once I get everything together. Before I put the wire in the bottom and the Velcro on, I'm going to go over and check it in the car to make sure it fits and exactly what I want. Otherwise I'll take it all apart and start again. All right, so there's going to be my test fit of the e-brake. Everything fits pretty good. It actually was a little looser than I expected, and well, unfortunately the pattern just isn't going to work out, but that's about the length I wanted. I went ahead and sewed it a little bit tighter, but it's actually going to fit very well on this. So you can see that there's pretty much no movement. So now I need to go ahead and sew the wire in the bottom and then the Velcro to attach to the carpet piece, and then this is going to be done. And if you're thinking, man, that's weird. Oh yeah, that's weird. So here's going to be our finished boot, and I've got everything sewn together. So you can see now that I have my wire frame all sewn in all the way around. And then I also put on my Velcro that goes to the carpet. So now let's go ahead and get this fitted in there. I'll show you the final product. So there's going to be our finished product. Now this is going to be just for the e-brake. I'll obviously get the other pieces back in there now that they're done, and we'll have the car complete. But this is going to make some people stop and stare. Yeah, I'm going to just leave it at that. So that was pretty simple thing to do. The wiring, obviously, or the wire itself comes with the boot. I took the Velcro off the old one to the new one. Pretty simple. Otherwise, you can replace it with new stuff, but not so much of a point if you're going to just scavenge anyway. Now, if you have any questions on any of the tools or materials that I've used on the plaid, on the sewing machine, or the scissors, or anything else, look down in the video description. I have links to everything else. So you can go out and kind of see what I've used, what I use to make parts here in the Basin Motorsports shop. Otherwise, leave your comments and questions down below. Like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.